So, welcome back. This is the Echols Unlimited podcast. I'm your host, Terrence Echols, and today is a special episode. I have my good friend on today. His name is Zion Tordoff from the Marist men's basketball team. Z, it's going well. How are you? All right, so Z, just tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, I was born in England from a little town called Bradford. It's about a 4-hour drive from London. And it's cool, it's a nice place to be. And I started playing soccer when I was really young, then I transformed to basketball, and that's a huge reason why I'm here today in Marist.
That's awesome. And when did you fall in love with the game of basketball?
I probably started playing basketball when I was around 11 years old, but I still didn't take it really seriously because I was still in love with football, or as you'd call it, soccer.
Right, yeah.
But as time went on, I started growing a lot, and basketball started becoming more fun, and I was dominating at that a lot more than I was at soccer. So I started really loving the game when I was about 13 years old, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
13. And obviously England, soccer is a really big sport there. So talk about a little bit about how maybe that might have been a difficult decision because basketball is not really as popular.
Yeah, well, basketball is not really a popular sport, and a huge reason for that is because the funding. Funding in England's a major problem for sports that are not soccer or football.
Okay.
A lot of money gets put into that, so it's hard to raise funds and keep clubs running because we don't really do high school basketball. That's really non-existent. Right. So a lot of the money gets run through clubs. So you have to find owners and people who want to invest their time into basketball clubs, and obviously that's not really the main thing that people want to do in England. There's not a lot of money in that, so you kind of just have to find a passion for it, and that's why you see a lot of British players go to America, which is where the opportunities are, and it just goes from there really.
Right. Okay. So I was gonna ask what was the system for youth basketball in England? Do you have these rec leagues, or do you go and you travel places, or what is it like?
Well, there's two different types of ways you can get into it. So first of all, it's club basketball, as I just mentioned. So so that'll be your local team. There'll be every sport. So I'm from Bradford, so I play for a team called Bradford Dragons.
Okay.
And the closest city to me is called Leeds. So there's a team called Leeds Force, and that's our rival team. So in every hour, 30 minutes, you'll find a different club. So you'll start there around juniors, under 14s, under 12s, under 13s. Then you'll play with the age groups, and if you're good enough or you put in the hard work, you have these regional development teams.
Okay. So
that's when you can represent your county or region. So my county is Yorkshire, and obviously there's regions the East, which is Ipswich, there's London, the London teams, there's North East, Newcastle, South East, South West, and every year there's one tournament, and everyone bunches together. There's a team of 12.
Okay.
So if you make a team of 12, you get to play the regional development tournament.
Oh wow.
And this is where England scouts are, or Great Britain head coaches. So they'll decide to pick you depending on how well you play, and they'll probably select 30 initially, and that's when they'll pick the team for the national team, and they'll pick 12 for that, and that's where you go to the European Championships. So that's a little bit of how it works.
Right. So it's sort of it's more structured than maybe the American system.
Yeah, it's very structured.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a structure.
Because the American system, you just get invited. They invite who they think are the top 30 players. When you actually have a tournament where they go and they select the top.
So everyone's kind of got a fair chance to prove if they're good enough or not in the tournament. So just depending on how you put on the day or the 2 days you're there.
Right.
It depends if you get picked or not.
And what age groups did they have there?
They'll do under 13s, under 15s, and under 17s.
13s, 15s. Okay. And did you compete in it for all three age groups?
Yeah, I did under 13s. Yeah, I did it my last year under 13s. Went to that. Then in my first year of the under 15 one, so I made it a year younger than everyone else.
Right. You were 14?
I was 14 at the time. Yeah. That's when the first time I got selected for the England national team. That was the under 15 development squad. Yeah. Yeah, I remember picking up the email. Oh, my dad got sent an email saying I made it to the squad, and there's just training camp in the next month, and I remember being so excited, and I was that was one of my goals.
Right.
I think it was a New Year's resolution actually. I wanted to make the England team, and
that's awesome.
Actually happened. So
that's really awesome. So what was your experience once you got to that level?
I was really nervous because obviously I wanted to really do it, but it was the highest level I've ever played at that point.
Right.
So I was used to dominate my age group and in my area. But then I went to guys who were similar level to me and even better. So I kind of had to prove what I had, and obviously I had nothing to lose because no one really knew who I was, and I was young and I was always going to develop. But it was a good experience all in all, and the coach just gave me confidence and said I had tools to work on and I could be a good player. So that gave me a lot of confidence to work harder.
Oh, that's great. That's great, dude. So I was gonna ask about like your travel ball and your AAU. So this was like your main this was the main basketball that you had, this development program that you had with the country.
Yeah, it'd run alongside, so I'd have the development and I'd play for my club at the same time.
Okay.
So club basketball would probably run through the start of school, so probably like September up until playoffs will be like in May.
Okay.
And if you don't make the playoffs, the season will probably finish in like April, mid-April. So yeah, your season will run until then. Then once your season gets done, it's straight onto the national team stuff then. So from April up until like August, that's when your pre-championship is. It's just straight training.
So it's a year. Yeah. It's a year-round thing.
Year-round thing.
So were you able to play both sports at the same time, or did you have to make like the drastic decision? Just I'm going to play some basketball over football.
Yeah, I think I decided when I started familiar with basketball at age 13. That's probably like when I stopped playing soccer. Like I kind of played like this is what under 14s age group. So I kind of played alongside it, but then as games always fell on Saturdays, so we'd play games against other teams on Saturdays, and that'd be the same for football too. So I kind of tried to like pick one, and I was like, it's not even a choice right now. I love basketball too much, and I might have a future in this, so that's where I decided to go with it.
Awesome. So another thing that probably went into your choice is you're 6'8". You know, you're tall. Yeah. Well, what are you in metric system?
Ooh, good question.
Like you guys go by meters, right?
Yeah, meters and centimeters. So meters would be like 2 meters, 3 centimeters maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like that's like your height. So obviously very tall. So how tall were you once you first started to get into basketball, and like was that like one of the determining factors?
Yeah, it was a determining factor because I've always been tall for my age. Yeah. I've always kind of like been towering over like my classmates and stuff.
Right.
And, but when I started playing basketball, so let's say I was 11, I might have been like 5 foot, maybe like 5'6", 5'5". But at that age group, everyone else was like 5 foot and under. So
yeah.
But when I hit 6 foot, I was probably about 13 years old.
Okay.
And I was still taller than everyone else. But one of the biggest growth spurts I had was when I was 15 for sure. I think I went from 6 foot to 6'4" in a matter of months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the growth pain wasn't nice.
Yeah, your knees. Oh my gosh, that's got to be terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when I kind of knew, and hopefully, like at that time, I was playing like the free. I was kind of like playing all positions because I was still tall for my height. I always worked on like my ball handling. I always worked on like the post moves. So because I never knew what position I was going to be, it's good to be like versatile and see what will work out. But as it went on, I got taller, got stronger, worked in the gym, just kept working on my game, and it just molded me to the player I'm today.
Well, I see it now because now like you play mostly like the 4 and 5 here at Marist, and you put the ball on the floor a lot, and it's easy for you compared to like other guys. So normally like a guy your size in our offense plays like what, the 5, but now you actually play the 4 at sometimes. And okay, I now it's all starting to make sense. Like now your abilities and how that's sort of translated. Okay, that's great. And so what is the basketball culture like in England? So, all right, another question I had, and I wanted you to explain this on the podcast because I'm not sure myself, and I'm not sure if the people watching this podcast know about what exactly is the difference between London, or not London, but England and the UK.
Right.
Like, because I normally think of it as like, you tried to explain it to me not long ago, but I sort of like, I don't really know. I got
you. So the United Kingdom, that's England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Okay.
All right. So Ireland's like got its own independence, so that doesn't count as the United Kingdom.
Right. So, Southern Ireland.
Yeah. Like just like there's Northern Ireland, and the rest of Ireland's just called Ireland.
Oh, okay.
So Northern Ireland's a part of the UK or Great Britain, both the same thing.
Okay.
But England's just in Great Britain or in the United Kingdom. So England's just England. So when you say the United Kingdom, you could be referring to Scotland.
You're talking about all of it.
all of it.
Okay.
But you can refer to England at the same time because a lot of people do.
Right.
But England's just England. That's kind of like the main thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And you're from England. You're from England. Bradford.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
I get it. So where is Bradford compared to London? Is it
Bradford's more like up north. Like there's north you can get. That's like Newcastle. That's the main city up north. And I'm a bit southern from Newcastle.
Okay.
I'm in Yorkshire, which is the region I played for.
Right.
And that's Bradford. But like 4 hours south a drive, that's London.
Oh, 4 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Like, because when people talk about you and they say London, he's from London.
Yeah.
Like, It's really a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of can relate to that because, you know, I'm from Syracuse, New York, and people think, oh, New York, he must be New York City.
Yeah.
That's like a 4.5, 5-hour drive almost, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. Mello gets that, Albany guy. So, talk to me. You decided to go. Did you go straight from England to junior college in Wyoming?
Yep.
So, what went into that? Like, did you get recruited, or what went into going to your school in Wyoming?
Yeah, I got recruited. So, obviously, my goal at the end of high school was to go Division 1 basketball. That's been my dream ever since I started like watching college basketball. Do you know when you see the tournament and you see like the bright lights and you see them playing and you see all like the advertisements and you see the games? That's like, wow, that's definitely something I want to do. And as a kid, you want to aim for the highest goals. So that's one thing I wanted to do, and I always worked hard. That was always on my mind when I woke up in the mornings, like to go work out, was to play college basketball. And out of high school, I think I had a pretty good season. We played in a league called the EABL, and I think I averaged 19.1 points and 10.8 rebounds a game. And it was a good season. Won Western Conference Player of the Year, and I had a pretty good two good seasons at Marisco. And Marisco really got me right. Because after Bradford Dragons, I left home at 16 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I lived in Marisco. That's kind of like a boarding school type thing. It's a basketball academy.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Marisco, it's a great basketball academy.
Marisco
College, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Marisco College.
Marisco College, yeah.
Okay, so what is that? Are you still studying the same type of things you would study in like American high school, or
similar type of stuff.
Okay.
So I took a BTEC level 3. It's of sports. It's like a basketball diploma.
Okay.
So I just learned about sport through there for my 2 years there.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's more like related to like what you study in college, where it's more, you know.
Yeah, you kind of like base it more on like what you want to do in the future.
Right.
You know? It's not like generic topics. It's like what you want to do. So like the system in America and the system in England is a lot different because there was like my last 2 years of high school, so that'd be my junior and senior year. So I kind of like left to do my junior and senior year there, then go to America. So yeah, my school really helped out with that, and that was a huge decision to make because I was leaving home and I wanted to go to the right place where I knew I could like develop and like play against good people and have good coaching staff and use the facilities, and my school had all of that. So I'm really thankful I went there and all the coaching staff too.
That's awesome. Do you go back there whenever you go home?
Yeah, every summer I've like been to America and come back. I always go there to work out and scrimmage against some of the guys and see the people. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so you got recruited by your junior college coach.
Yeah.
And
so actually, funny story about that. So one of my best friends called Io, he originally got recruited there first.
Oh, okay.
So they called him up. He knew he loved it there. He signed, and a week went by, and they messaged me asking what I was doing, and I was really unsure what I was doing because I was like trying to find like what's going to happen in schools, and I think it was around April time, so it was kind of like getting late. And then Casper called, and I was like, well, this seems like a perfect opportunity. Everything about the place just seems right, and I just had like that feeling. And obviously my best friend was going there, and he was telling me good things. So
for sure,
I was like, everything feels right. Get me to Division 1 school, it'd be a good place to develop. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty certain I'm going here. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And where did he end up?
He went to a junior college in Pasadena after that, and he went back to play in England at university.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He in Pasadena, California.
California, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're actually doing the last. Are you familiar with the Last Chance U? Documentary.
Yeah.
They're doing that documentary on a California basketball team. Yeah.
That's good if you went for that. Because it's always just football, but
I
see some in basketball.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Too.
Obviously, being a basketball guy.
That'd be cool.
So, what were like the culture shocks you experienced once you came to junior college in Wyoming of all places, of all places in America? You went to Wyoming and Casper College. So talk to me about what the biggest differences you experienced in terms like socially, culturally, like what happened?
Well, when I first got there, I still remember it so clearly. The first thing that hit me was like driving on the other side of the road. That really hit me at first. But the other thing, the next day I woke up the next morning, I was like jet lagged and stuff, but everyone was just so nice.
Really?
Like always asking how I am, do I need any help? Like that was like I thought it was it was the first day, so I thought people was trying to be nice.
Right, yeah.
But it happened like the rest of the 2 years I was there, like everyone's like genuinely really nice and always trying to help out.
I can
sure.
Yeah.
But Wyoming, yeah, there's nothing much to do. Like there's a lot of great people, but
yeah,
like it's just like a lot of like open land, a lot of animals just roaming the streets, and
really,
yeah,
are there a lot of like
deer,
farms?
Deer.
Oh, deer,
ranches, huge. That's where like a lot of money comes from, and Wyoming, Casper especially, it's known as like good for oil.
Okay,
there's a lot of oil rigs kind of like around there being founded and used for government use. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but
I didn't even know that.
Oh, it's a cool place. Like the mountain, the scenery is amazing. Like going up the mountains, and it's not even far from college. You could go on like a 10-minute drive just north, and you go up the mountain, see all over the whole city. It was actually really nice.
Okay.
And one time I actually went up during the night, and you know the Wyoming cowboy, you know like the symbol.
Yeah, aren't they? Isn't that the University of Wyoming?
Yeah, the University of Wyoming. Like. The city lights up in the shape of like a Wyoming symbol, yeah.
No way.
I thought
in like the cowboy symbol?
In the cowboy, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's intentional or
you
can just see it, but it's definitely the.
Oh, that's super weird. You could see that from the top of the mountain.
Yeah, from the top. Yeah.
That's really weird.
Yeah,
I didn't. Okay, so if you're ever in the top of what mountain is it?
I don't think I had a name. It was just the one next to Casper. You just go straight up the road and.
Okay, if you ever go to Casper College and you go to the top of a mountain. Tell me if you experience the Wyoming cowboy sign in the city lights of the what town is it? The town of Casper.
Town of Casper. Yeah.
The town of Casper. Okay, that is really
crazy.
interesting. That's actually pretty cool.
A lot of work must have gone into that.
Right. Yeah. So did you do like any skiing or snowboarding? Like, no. Were there any like activities that were unique to the Wyoming area that you got to partake in?
Yeah, because it did snow a lot. When it snowed, it snowed like it was really cold. Like I do my like units in Celsius, unit in Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
But at times it got to minus 20 degrees Celsius. So
that's really cold. That's probably single digits almost in Fahrenheit.
-5. I think.
That's close. Yeah, that's got to be close.
So it was really cold, but skiing it could have been a thing. But as we was like athletes and playing on the team, it's kind of like a risk of injury, so we tried to not do that stuff. But, when it was snowing, no, we didn't really do anything. No really major activities. Like fishing was kind of big. Obviously in Wyoming, obviously not personal to me, but hunting was pretty popular, especially in hunting season. So, yeah.
That's interesting, dude. All right, so you did your 2 years in Wyoming. How did the team do?
We had a good 2 years actually. In our first year, we had quite a few seniors there, and it's people I'm good friends with still. I think 4 people graduated and went on to Division 1 schools.
Oh, so that's great.
It was good. I think we finished that season 22-10. It was pretty successful, but we got knocked out of the first round of the Region 9 Championship. But we had a lot of freshmen that year, so we kind of like developed and learned from it. And going into the next season, we had an amazing season, made history, and we was 32-3.
Oh, wow.
Season, won the region, so they're getting knocked out in the first round. We won all 3 games, won the Region 9. I think that was the first time in Casper history for 23 years.
Wow. Yeah, so you did make history.
Made history,
for sure.
Put a banner up in the Swede Exxon Arena, which was really good.
Yeah.
And then we went on to the national tournament of JUCO.
Okay.
We did get knocked out in the first round of that, but we had a great season. We had a great run.
Yeah.
I think 7 players went on to play Division 1, Division 2 basketball.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was an amazing year.
Yeah, and you're one of them too.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Z. Man. You made it.
Appreciate
so
it,
where did some of the other guys end up?
The guy called Wilfred Lakai. It's actually his birthday today. Shout out Will. New Mexico State. He went to a guy called Isaac Bonton from Portland. He went to Washington State.
Okay.
Brock Finston and James Hampshire, they went to Pacific in Pacific in California.
Yeah.
Kieran Goodwin, he went to Winona State in Minnesota.
Okay, I've heard of that.
He's from England too. Shout out my boy Amin.
Oh, is that your boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to Montana State.
Okay.
And also my head coach, he went to Montana State too as an assistant.
So, that's great. Yeah. Wait, so he left Casper and he got
he got a job at Montana State.
Okay, that's great. So Montana State, is that Division 1 or Division 2?
Yeah, in the Big Sky Conference.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Big Sky.
Yeah, doing really good now.
Wow. So that just shows like just the ability junior college has in not only sending players to play at a higher level, but also coaches.
Exactly.
It's a good platform for both players and coaches. So what would you say, like people talk about junior college and it's a different experience for everyone. Yeah. So what would you say about your own personal junior college experience?
For me, I think it was the perfect choice for me to go to junior college. I think if I went to Division 1, it would have been a lot different because coming out of high school I was like a 3-4, but kind of like mainly a 3. Then coming to junior college, it like made me like work harder and realize like how much better I needed to get. So I just play at like Division 1 level, because obviously Division 1 level is much more technical, much faster, much stronger. Yeah, I don't think I could have jumped straight into that from high school. So I'm really glad I went to junior college for 2 years, and I had a great coaching staff throughout the 2 years I was there. Dan Russell, Coach Hurley, and Coach Gutting. They taught me a lot. I was there and playing against good guys and guys who was like dogs too. Like I need to play against them and like every single day, and that really got me better. And I'm really glad I went to junior college just so I can get me to where I am now today, because I believe everything happens for a reason, and that's why I'm here now.
Exactly. So you mentioned like guys were like dogs in junior college. So do you think that that's a trait unique to them, or is that something that a lot of guys at that level sort of have to have in order to, you know, not only survive but maybe thrive and make it to the next level from a junior college?
I think it's really both. Like they brought their own like kind of like dogness to the fight, as you say. They brought their own unique thing, and I think that's something you need in basketball, because at this level, nothing's going to get given to you. You kind of like need to get it for yourself, work hard for yourself. And that's when you put it all on the floor, and I think it goes for both sides, like coaches and players. Like you just need to be like tenacious, and that's how you get the wins at the end of the day, really. Obviously put the dogness together, the skills and the attitude, and you'll get a great team.
Yeah, for sure. So you came here on your visit. I'm mad I missed you on your visit. Normally, everyone that I've had, I normally got the chance to meet them and talk to them when they came on their visit. But when did you come? You came in
April.
April.
Today, it was April 12th to the 14th, I think.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember my roommate, Tucker Lee, shout out Tucker Lee. He was like, yeah, you know, this big British guy came.
I remember Tucker.
He's really nice, and I got to meet him, and everyone was talking about the recruit that was on campus and like how he's really nice guy, good guy, and I'm mad I missed you.
What was you that day, man? What was you doing?
I don't know. I don't know what I could have been doing. I don't know why I didn't see you within those 3 days, but it's whatever. I met you over the summer. We hung out. We had a good time. But what about Marist and what about Coach Dunn made you want to commit to Marist? Did you commit on your visit or?
No, I committed like the day after.
Okay. And did your parents come over for that? They came over for the visit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So what about the school?
Well, when I came here, talking to Coach Dunn, Coach Driscoll initially recruited me. So I played in a tournament. This is how he recruited me. I played in a tournament in Colorado, and it was like a jamboree. I was playing for Casper in my second year. Right. And we played 2 days, and I think he watched me like the second day. No, I think it was after the first day. He got my number and texted me saying like good job. And I think it was the day after the jamboree. He called me, kind of like give me an overview on Marist, saying it's like a new coaching staff. We're trying to like build the program up. Right. And see how it goes from there. And he was just telling me about what he liked about my game, what the team could use, and we'll keep in contact through the season. And we kept in contact a little bit. And as towards the end of the season, he called me saying he was going to like recruit me hard, and he was going to come out to Sheridan, which is where we had our Region 9 tournament. And he was going to come watch me play, like see how tall I am, just to make sure he's not lying about you. Yeah, because I think initially he thought I was like 6'5" or something. You can't really tell by video, so I don't blame him. Like, exactly. If you had an opportunity to come out, you would. So I think after the game last year, after the MAC tournament, he flew straight out to Sheridan, and I think he watched us play in the semi-final. I think we played Western Nebraska, won that game, and he also watched the next game against Sheridan in the final. So, and I think he mentioned how like crazy the atmosphere was in Wyoming. And, no, it was good. And I think after the Western Nebraska game, he called me. Then I was on the phone to Coach Dunn, and he called me too. And I think that's when he offered me the scholarship to Marist. So, that's great. So by the time I was like kind of like concentrating on like winning the whole tournament. Yeah. We went back and kind of like things like settled down a little bit. Then I was on the phone with him again, and we got in contact again, talking about setting up a visit. And before that, we had the national tournament. Oh right, and that was in Kansas. The national. Hutchinson, Kansas. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. You just went to Kansas. You know, you could have gone to any place in the country, and you went from Wyoming to Kansas, and so this is your experience in America.
My experience in America.
Oh boy, oh boy. We're lucky we got you up here.
New York.
In New York. In the world, yes, exactly. You got to experience New York City and all that, because we're only like an hour and a half train ride. Really I know you like to utilize that. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but. Yeah, so they just kept recruiting you.
Yeah, so in Kansas, that's where Coach Dunn and Coach Driscoll came out. So I was playing the tournament game, and after the game, I spoke to them both a little bit, and that's when we really finalised like getting the visit set up. So I think a month later, the visit happened, and when I met with the coaches, met with the guys, saw the school, I was like, this is amazing, and everything the coaches were saying and like showing me, everything just seemed to fall into place perfectly about what I needed and what they needed.
Right.
So it wasn't really a question, really. I just knew it was like the place for me, and you know, like when you get the feeling, like this is the right place.
I got that feeling the second like our car got onto campus. I was like, this is amazing.
It's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right.
School, so that's when I knew it was time to commit.
Dude, that's great, and I'm so glad you did. Even though you didn't meet me during that, which you probably would have committed earlier.
Had you met me. The second of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, what is it like now that you've been here since the summer? You haven't been home, right?
No,
not since when?
June 23rd.
Oh, not since the exact date. June 23rd. All right, so you've been here since June 23rd. So, what has it been like here in Poughkeepsie, New York?
Honestly, I've never been bored. There's always stuff to do, and the gym's always open. I like playing video games.
Yeah.
This school's taught me a lot of different stuff because I kind of like a business mindset, so I kind of like trying to like make money when I'm older, and kind of like looking at like what other people do and what professors are teaching me, and obviously this kind of stuff you do because you do advertising, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm advertising.
So I'm kind of like taking note and see what other people are doing, and there's so many resources here. And
right.
I'm just trying to take full advantage of them, really.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I love that mentality too, because a lot of people. They don't realize what they have at their disposal. Exactly. This school has so many opportunities, not just in basketball. Like, obviously, basketball is a huge thing, and it's a huge part of your life, and it's the main reason why you're here. But, like, also, like, Marist will set you up for a future and whatever you want if you take advantage of all the resources we have. And I'm so glad that you understand that and that you acknowledge that, too.
Huge opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, so what is it? I'm gonna edit it, so like doesn't really matter like what I say. Like if I look at this.
Yeah.
All right, so your parents just came.
Yeah.
They were here for what, a couple weeks?
12 days. Yeah.
Yeah. And did they stay in the city or did they ever come up to Poughkeepsie? Or I know that they came up to Poughkeepsie because we saw them, but. Did they like spend any nights in Poughkeepsie, or were they just in the city the whole time?
Yeah, they stayed in the city, but I think they stayed one night in Poughkeepsie.
Okay.
Yeah, one night in Poughkeepsie. Yeah. And they just left today, but they was in Poughkeepsie all yesterday, so I just spent time with them. Out, just chilled until I went back. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to see them. It was your first time since what, June 23rd?
Yeah.
June 23rd scene. Yeah. So. How was it having them here and being able to share Marist and the team and just have them at the games? Like, what did that mean to you and how was that?
It was amazing. It's always been like a dream of my parents, like just to come to America, especially New York, and see me play my first Division 1 game for them. And I think they always used to come to my games in England, no matter where it was. There's always drive everywhere. I find a way to get to all my games. Like if they wasn't at my game, I'd be surprised.
Right. Yeah.
Like, even if they'd have to drive an hour, 4 hours, like they'd always be there, and I'm always so appreciative of that. And the last game I played in England, I think it was a game in London actually. I think that's the last game they saw me play, like an official game.
Oh, okay.
And against Colombia, that was the first game they've seen in 2.5 years, I think.
No way! Wow.
So it's the first time I've seen playing a live game for a while.
Yeah, because it's hard to go from England all the way to Casper, Wyoming.
They was thinking about going, especially when we had the Region 9 tournament, because we was tied with Sheridan. To host the tournament, so we was hoping we was going to host. But it came down to a coin flip on who was hosting.
Dang.
Like literally at the end of the game. So we played them. That was our season. That was the end of the season. We played them. So if they won, they'd have just hosted it anyway because they beat us early in the season. But since we beat them, it was even. Like our record was even.
Right.
And all the stats combined. So it just came down to a coin flip.
Dang.
We won. We was all happy then. They did the coin flip, they won, and they just started cheering. I'm like, when they're cheering, and it was like, oh, they won the coin flip.
Yeah.
And our mood just went down. We felt like we lost.
Right.
But then it was like, you know what, we'll just come back.
You'll just come back and we'll beat them in the tournament. All right, that's cool. So what has been the most difficult thing about being so far away from family? Like, do you have like extended family, like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, like that type? Are they all back home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Home. Yeah. Actually, I have an uncle who's in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while, but I think he's gonna come like down to New York because he likes to travel a little bit. And my cousin, he's always traveling too. He's actually coming to New York in May.
Oh yeah.
Towards the end of May or mid-May, so I'll actually see him for a little bit too. So yeah.
Didn't you have a cousin that came a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But he was from Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so, what has been like the most difficult part about that?
I don't really miss home as such, but I miss the people from back home. So obviously, like my parents, my grandparents, cousins, family, friends.
Right.
I'd say that's the biggest thing, especially like being international and like not really going back home as often as you could, like Christmas breaks, Thanksgiving. But seeing my parents over this Christmas, it was amazing. Yeah, I can't complain.
Right. Yeah, and that's something that I take for granted. I went to. I'm only 3.5 hours away from home, and I get to go home whenever I want. Whenever we have time. Whenever we have time. Yeah. But I can't imagine like being so far away from your parents and all that. And I truly commend you for that. Because that probably takes a lot. You know.
Yeah, but it's the sacrifices you gotta make.
Right.
Basketball is all about sacrifices. So
absolutely.
Want to make them.
Absolutely. And you obviously you utilize like FaceTime and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Skype.
Yeah. FaceTime.
Oh, FaceTime.
Gotta be FaceTime. Yeah.
WhatsApp? Do you use WhatsApp?
WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a group chat with mom and dad. That's the best way we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I know like WhatsApp that's probably like the easiest way to communicate when you're communicating with someone from a different country, right? Because it's all on one thing. Right. Okay. Well. That's good. And I was gonna ask, like, how do you cope? You cope with that, obviously, through like FaceTime and all that. And they came and visited you, and I'm glad they did that. So, what's your favorite food from back home?
Favorite food, like, do you want like an English plate, or do you want like just my favorite, like personal? Or do you want both?
Give me both. Yeah, both.
So my favorite dish, curry goat and rice. It's a Jamaican dish.
Okay.
So since I'm half Jamaican, I love Jamaican food. My grandma.
So you're half Jamaican.
Yeah,
okay.
My grandma makes mean Jamaican food. My mum can make good Jamaican food. So I've just been raised around that and grown to love that. And favorite British food. Have you ever heard of a full English before?
Full English.
Full English. It's a breakfast.
Right. Is that like there's like bread and there's like ham? Or is it ham or bacon?
Bacon.
Oh,
so imagine,
what is it?
So imagine like a full plate, huge, like filled up. So you got like your toast. It has to be like cooked perfectly. A bit of brown. You have to butter it up.
Okay.
You got the baked beans on top.
Baked beans,
yeah, that's a huge thing. A lot of like when I tell that's like a lot like American people, they kind of like.
Dude, I love baked beans. I'll eat baked beans for breakfast.
Right, so you like a full English.
Right.
You like English.
Okay.
And on top of the baked beans, you put a bit of like cheese on it. And on the side, you might have eggs.
Okay.
You can have it scrambled, you can have it fried. Depends however you want it. You have sausages, bacon. Then people's out of black pudding. You ever heard of black pudding?
Black pudding, no. What is that?
To be honest, I don't know what it is, but it's nice.
You don't know what it is. It's
nice.
I
think I know, but I don't want to tell you podcast the wrong thing. So
okay.
That's something for you to search up. Black pudding.
Okay,
it's
black
nice.
pudding. Okay.
And you can have like tomatoes.
Okay.
You know, the ones like in the sauce.
Like full tomatoes?
Like, do you know the ones that like red, like out of the can, kind of? Like they're in the sauce and like they're in the balls.
Oh, grape tomatoes?
Yeah.
Like the tiny, like little ball ones, like these?
But like they're covered in the sauce.
Covered in the sauce.
The skins off it, but it's like, so imagine taking the skin off the tomato.
Okay.
Then like I think you boil it, but you put it back in the sauce. I think that's what it is. I don't really put that in, but I've seen it on other things.
Right.
Hash browns, you cannot forget about the hash browns.
Love hash browns. How are they cooked? Is it like a hash brown patty or is it like hash brown?
Oh, it's a patty. It's a patty. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it as a patty.
Okay.
That's your full English.
That's your full English right there. Okay.
Oh, mushrooms, but mushrooms.
Okay, mushrooms too. Okay, so where's the best place to get a full English, back home?
A lot of hotels do good full Englishes.
Really?
There's a lot of just like cafes around, local cafes. I've never really gone out and bought full English unless it's like, like a hotel. Well, my parents make a good one, so I like
it. Okay. Right, yeah, exactly. You just eat whatever they make. Yeah. I get that. And what's the best food in Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie. Well, Cosimo's is good food.
Cosimo's, yes.
Actually,
yes.
No, Shadows.
Shadows, okay,
I went on my visit.
I've heard really good things about Shadows. Now, did you go for like a brunch or a dinner?
It was a dinner.
Okay, a dinner. Yeah, what did you get?
What did I get? I think I've been there twice now. They were on visits. I got a great appetizer. It was like macaroni cheese, but there was like bacon on top. It was like 3 separate things. It had like jalapenos. It tasted really good.
Okay.
And then for the main, it was some kind of like pasta. Thing. Some seafood thing. It was really good.
Okay. Did it have vodka sauce on it?
Vodka sauce. This didn't have vodka sauce.
It didn't.
No, the Cosmos vodka sauce.
Yeah.
Pasta's amazing. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
I remember. Okay, story time. It was like one of the first weeks.
Yeah.
Your first weeks on campus. Yeah. We're having like, what was it, after practice? It was like dinner or something, and it was like, it said like vodka on the thing. And you like, yo, is that like, what is that? You're like, what does that mean? Like, is that really vodka in it? I was like, oh no, dude, that's just like the name of a sauce. Like, it's really good. Try it. And then, like, is that one of your favorite things that we get now?
It's my favorite type of pasta.
It is
in the world.
Right now. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying vodka. That's my favorite pasta.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'm privileged to have explained vodka sauce to you. Absolutely. I got you. And so what would you change about the United States to make it more like home?
The accent.
The accent. Okay. Yeah, so what do people say about your accent? Because obviously it's very distinct. Like, the British accent is probably considered like one of the most popular and one of like it's one of the coolest in my opinion. I don't know if other people feel that way. Like, the British accent is like really cool. So what do people often say about your accent?
No, people just like tell me like repeat words. I'll just say a sentence.
Yeah. I'll
just say something and they're like, oh, that's so cool. No one's ever said anything bad about it. Was Matt's calling me?
Oh yeah, cool. Pick it up.
Yo.
Are you in his room?
No, I'm in Terrence's room.
Oh. Alright. What room are you in? Because Blake locked himself out of your room.
Wait, he locked himself out? Oh, he's in. We're in 273.
273?
Yeah.
Alright,
bro.
Back to our regular schedule.
Shout out Matt Herasme.
Alright, shout out.
He's also been on the podcast, so gotta look out for my other podcast guests on here. What a legend, right? What a guy. So what were we talking about?
The accent.
The accent, man. Like, just people just tell you to repeat words. Like, they tell you to say like certain phrases and all that. How do you feel about Braden Bell and his impersonation? He seems to have a, not really like an obsession, but he's fascinated with your accent, and he has his own sort of impersonation of you, and I think it's hilarious. He did it when he came on a couple weeks ago when he came on the podcast. So, like, what do you think about Braden's take on the British accent?
That's just Braden. He's just a funny guy, and I'm always surprised by what he says. It's always something new. Never repeats. It's always something new. Like, whenever I say something, he'll just impersonate. I'm like, don't get started. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. I can't stop laughing though. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Shout out to Braden Bell as well. Shout out to all these people. Shout out to Texas, man. Texas, right? Rowlett. So, how have you utilized New York City? Because I know, like, you take the train in a lot. Do you take the Metro or do you take what's the other one? Amtrak?
Yeah, I don't say that. I'm trying to take the Metro.
Yeah, the Metro takes you into Grand Central, right?
Like an hour and 45.
Yeah.
Really
Okay. Yeah. That's not bad. So what is it like going into New York City, and like how do you, like, just talk a little bit about that?
No, it's amazing. Like, just knowing like it's a $20 like train ride away. It's actually crazy, and Like, New York's one of like my favorite cities in the whole world, from like seeing on like movies, TV shows, and
Right.
like from small town Bradford and to New York. Like,
Right.
just being able to be a train ride away is amazing. And I don't even necessarily go there just to go like shopping, whatever. Just to go around, walk around like with my friends. And I went down with Henry early in the year.
Oh, shout out to Henry.
Shout out to Henry. And yeah, we just walked around, and it's just an amazing place to be. Time goes by so fast when you're walking around, and
Right.
all these skyscrapers, so much history.
Right.
City, and
Yeah.
it's just an amazing place to be.
Yeah, that's good too. So what are some of your favorite hobbies to do?
Obviously basketball, just going in the gym, shooting around.
Right.
I've got a problem with video games.
Got a problem?
Video games. Once I get hooked on one and
Yeah.
I'm on it for hours, I'll go anywhere with it.
Because I know you're playing Star Wars right now. I'm sorry I'm taking you away from your Star Wars currently, you know.
Needed a break.
Yeah, you needed a break. Do you have any favorite like shows you like to follow and watch?
I love watching shows and movies. I just finished The Mandalorian.
Okay, another Star Wars thing. So you big on Star Wars?
Yeah, huge on Star Wars. I'm also huge on Marvel as well.
Oh
Marvel
yes, I love
favorites,
Marvel. Who's your favorite superhero?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
That's the goal.
Who's your favorite character? Because I know some people's favorite character was Thanos, even though
that's true.
He's not a hero, obviously. So who's your favorite character?
Yeah, I'd still stick with Iron Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Iron Man, iconic. Oh, I'm a Black Panther guy.
Black Panther?
I love the Black Panther. Yeah.
Actually, I might take that back. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. The Tom Holland Spider-Man? You like him?
Yeah, I think he's better than the
Okay.
original Tobey Maguire.
Okay. I haven't seen any of those movies in forever, but the Tom Holland Spider-Man I'm a fan of.
Really good.
But Tom Holland's British, right?
He's British.
Yeah,
too.
okay. I get that. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of British actors out there who are like in a lot of popular like American TV shows and all that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people realize the guy who's in Get Out. Have you seen Get Out?
Yeah, he's British.
Yeah, what's his name? Daniel Kaluuya. Like he's also British.
He's also in that new movie. What's it called?
He's in a lot. He was in Black Panther.
Yeah, he was in Black Panther. I just watched it recently. It's a movie where about the police where.
Oh yeah, Queen and Slim.
Queen and Slim. For a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but he does a great job. His American accent is perfect. And then
Henry Cavill, you know the guy who plays Superman.
no, I don't really watch. No, I don't really watch DC. I don't pay attention to DC. I watched Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a great film.
Great.
But I don't really pay attention to much DC. But and then. Do you watch All American?
All American.
It's on Netflix. It's like a football.
Yeah.
Watch that. It's another British actor.
really?
Yeah, a black guy.
American?
Yeah. He does like an American like Compton accent. He's pretty good.
Do you know what Doctor Strange, the guy who plays Doctor Strange? He's British
He's
too.
British. What is his name? Benedict.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, that's great too. So I mean, you guys are just killing it.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the British people.
Shout out British people.
Yeah. So, do you have like, obviously the British Office is popular too, right?
Yeah.
With what's his name, Ricky
Gervais.
Gervais,
Yeah,
and
so
that's how you
funny.
pronounce
He just did
it.
the Golden Globe.
Right? Yeah.
Speech, his monologue. It was so funny.
Yeah, I'm impartial to the American Office, the one in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
I've watched a bit of that actually. Some of it's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Scranton's like 2 hours away from me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird that Scranton, a town or a city in Pennsylvania, is closer to me than Marist College is, a school in my own state. You know, that's just how New York is.
Yeah, just America works. Too.
Right? Yeah, like I'm closer to Canada than I am to New York City.
Really?
Yeah, like I can get to Toronto faster than I can New York City. It's pretty close. Yeah. It's pretty close, but the fact that I can get all the way to Toronto,
that's really cool.
In like about the same amount of time it takes to get to New York City, you know.
That's really cool.
Wait, I think Toronto's like a 4-hour drive, and New York City's like a 4.5-hour drive.
It's a good location to be.
Right.
Choose one or the other.
Right.
It's Toronto.
Yeah. So do you do a lot of traveling home? Like, because when I mentioned the vodka sauce to you, and I was like, yeah, it's like Italian. And it's like, have you been to Italy? You're like, yeah, I've been to Italy.
I've been
like,
before, with my parents. I've been to Rome, Florence. When I was younger, I was probably like 10 years old, maybe younger. Yeah, I mean, I've done quite a bit of travel with my family. We go to Barcelona quite a lot. That's like our family. That's where we go the most. That's what we enjoy the most. Been to Paris a few times, and through basketball, I've been in a lot of places just representing like Great Britain.
Right.
So I've played in a European Championship in Macedonia.
Okay.
That's like Eastern Europe, and then I've been to Germany as well.
Okay.
We've played tournaments in Spain, France, Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
Slovakia. There's quite a few places for it. Yeah.
So you have a relationship, well, not really a relationship, but you've done the Lowell Dang camps.
Yeah.
Just like Henry McKenney, the other guy on our team. He has a relationship with him. You've obviously met Lowell Dang, and he grew up in London,
Yeah,
right?
he grew up in London. I think he was there for like maybe 3 or 4 years. But he went to Blair Academy, which is what Henry went.
Right, yeah. So he's like sort of similar to Henry. Henry grew up in Sydney, Australia, but like sort of they're Sudanese, went to a different country, and then they went to Blair. So did you like? Was it you went to his camp and like he just had a camp there, and did you get a chance to meet him? Like, have you gone to multiple camps? Like,
well, I went to 2 camps. So the first camp originally, he sent out invites to 50 players. So 50 of the best players you think will be at a tournament, and I wasn't in the initial 50, so I was on like the reserve list. But obviously, those people didn't like accept it, or dropped out, or injured, or just wasn't in the country.
Right.
So I was able to like fill the place, and I ended up going to the first camp. So obviously, I was going in with like obviously nothing to lose. I was a reserve.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I think I finished that camp ranked 16th.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got ranked in the top 20, which was huge.
Yeah.
Obviously, no pressure going into it, so I was just like, let's just see what I can do.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It was a good camp for me, and I got to meet Lul Deng and got to play from some great coaches. And it was a fun experience, and I learned a lot from it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
And then next year, I got ranked 2nd. So,
oh wow! Really?
Yeah, that was a really good
okay.
camp. So obviously a little bit more pressure that camp on the spotlight and being there the year before, but just used my confidence and went in there and
showed up and showed out. Yeah. I respect that, Z. That's good work right there. And so you've done a little bit of traveling. Have you ever? You said your mom's Jamaican. Yeah. So this is a question I've been meaning to ask you. So your mom's Jamaican. Your dad is.
He's British, but I think he's got a bit of Scottish in there, like Yugoslavian.
Okay.
I think.
So you're biracial.
Yeah.
Obviously, I met your parents.
Family tree for all that ancestry.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Jamaica?
Never been, but
it's beautiful.
Oh, you've been?
It's beautiful. Oh yeah.
Whereabouts in Jamaica?
We went to Montego Bay when I was. Oh, that's where they're from. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we went there. I was 11, I think.
So you can remember it.
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, we stayed in a resort. We went off a resort one day, though, to go, like, shopping at some of the local shops. And it was kind of cool to, like, walk through the streets. And, you know, my parents, they were just trying to buy everything. You know, they were trying to, you know, give their money to, you know, all these, like, local people there. And I thought that was really cool. But my parents have been 3 times. Like, they go all the time. They love it. They love Jamaica. So, what was it like for your mom to be Jamaican, living in predominantly white place? And what is it like for you too, being black and living in predominantly white place in London, or not London, but
in
England,
Bradford. I've never had a problem with it, to be honest. So, like, in Bradford, I never really, like, tend to go out. I'm not really, like, socially, like, out there as much. I just tend to, like, stick to basketball.
Right.
Like, do what I do there. I've never really, like, tend to, like, be out as much. And, like, all I did was, like, go to school, come back, and not many people see me out. So I've never really, like, been in a position where, like, I could be, like, obviously, like, racially abused. That'd be, like, extreme.
Right.
But I've never been in a situation where, like, anything's, like, hindered me. Or never been in a situation where everything's, like, helped me. It's just, like, being neutral, really.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you never really had to deal with, like, much, like, racism or anything? No. So has your mom?
Not that I know of, no. Probably something I'll talk to her about. Right. It could be interesting. Like, obviously, I'm more mature now, but...
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Not that I know of, no.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing for you
Yeah.
that you haven't had to go through any of that. Like,
Sure.
that's a blessing,
Yeah.
you know.
Huge blessing. Huge blessing.
So, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to appreciate you having me on the
Oh,
podcast, bro.
of course. Thank you for being on the podcast today. This is the first one I did the recording of. I'm gonna see how it turns out.
That's good.
Hopefully it went well. Shout out to Ryan Carmelo,
Listen in the background.
the GOAT.
The goat.
He's coming on here. He'll be on here soon. You guys will be able to see him soon. The man himself. But Z, anything else you'd like to say? Thank you for coming on. From me.
No worries, man. Anytime, man. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Thank you for watching. So definitely gonna have to have this guy on again. So.